I welcome you all to this session on corporate social responsibility. Yes. Let me elaborate on evolution of CSR in India. In the earlier 2-3 videos, we discussed about the concept of CSR, its needed aspects and history and development. Today, we shall focus on history of CSR or evolution of CSR in India. As you know, India is having a rich heritages and it has the world's richest tradition of CSR since time immemorial. Maybe kingdom era or even from civilization, you can understand that in India, this charity and philanthropy was deep rooted in the in Indian say, soil itself. The term CSR may be relatively new to India, but the concept dates back to, as I told, civilization. But from Mauryan history or dynasty, there are some documented evidences. Even Kautilya in his Arthashastra emphasis on ethical practices and principles while conducting business. He has given certain principles for the business and craftsmen. And lot of foreign visitors has recorded this about Indian uh, philanthropies by businessmen or such merchants. So India, or we have a deep-rooted culture of sharing and caring. Even very recently, maybe during the first wave of uh, COVID-19 pandemic last year, when lockdown has been announced and everything everywhere very much say threat of spread of COVID, and suddenly people are especially working class and marginal income group people are put in difficulties, and a lot of corporates and these businessmen and leaders have have come to the rescue of these downtrodden and difficult people by giving them kits and maybe food packets, including the drinking water packages or sachets. That shows that this sharing and caring is an Indian bloods or blood of Indians. And the religions, when you check, in all religion, uh, especially in case of Islam, they have the law called zakat, that is to give. And merchant belong to Hindu religion, give alms, got temples and nice shelters and made for poor. If you say even today, there are chowdhuries and dormits managed and run by the temples for the pilgrims and visitors. And in all this, the temple authorities give free meals and all to the visitors and tourists. And in all religion, it is there. Hindus followed Dharmada and Sikhs followed Dashan. So these are certain practices, and all the development or evolution as practices, or I can say CSR initiatives, initiatives by these corporates toward the society in and spending a share of profit or they are earning on the welfare of the society and the locality where it function can be discussed on different phases, most importantly under four phases. The history of corporate social responsibility in India can be broadly divided into four phases. First phase, pre-independence, before independence. Noble deeds of philanthropists and charity. Maybe starting from kingdom eras and some then businessmen and traders and later certain companies. It was influenced by family values. See, certain families, we say it is our tradition, ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯ ಪದ್ಧತಿ ಅಂತ ಈಗಲೂ ಕೇಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತೇವೆ ನಾವು. Traditions, then culture, and then religion, along with the industrialization. See, industrialization happened in the later part of 18th and early part of 19th century, 1750 to 1850. During that period, it happened, commenced in Western countries or Western part of world and has moved to the east. It might have taken around, say, another half a decade, half a century to such go under such a industrial process in India. Still, certain leading corporates there like Tatas and Birlas. If you take Tatas, they have already completed almost 250 years. Birlas and Modi's, Godrej, Bajaj, and Singhanias promoted this concept by setting up of charitable foundations. Today also we shall see. So these corporates, during pre-independence, before independence itself, they established charities, trusts, and through which they raised some amount of public money and contributed their share of profit, and they spent on some education and healthcare institutions they set up. If you see, all these are having to even today the educational institutions and say hospitals, both are for philanthropy purpose, healthcare and trusts for community development. These are during pre-independence or before independence. All big corporates used to have their own charitable foundations, and they take care of all this education and health aspect of public or society, and even some community development programs. Then second phase, that is the period of independence and the struggle, independent struggle, when the industrialists were pressurized to show their dedication towards the benefit of the society. In the sense, when these Indians were exploited by the British or such Europeans, here India they started protesting, and later Mahatma Gandhi has come into limelight and he has given leadership, and he urged to the powerful industrialists to share their wealth for the benefit of underprivileged section of the society. So then they started a trusteeship, and Mahatma Gandhi called such industrialists and industrial organizations who helped such underprivileged, I can say downtrodden and who are in the difficulty, and during that period untouchability and such all social evils were in that practice, for the rescue of or help of such people. And Mahatma Gandhi himself called those industries who used to give such benefits to the underprivileged sections of society as the temples of modern India, those companies. Then phase 3 of CSR in India, emergence of public sector undertakings to ensure proper distribution of wealth. See, after independence, after 1947, especially in the year 1950, Constitution of India has been established or launched, and and Indian economy was planned as a 5-year plans. First 5-year plan was commenced in 1950 and 51. Started from 51 to 55. In that first 5-year plan focused on agriculture, and almost all companies and all helped the people in the form of giving guarantee of food. Then After 56, second industry, 5-year plan has given emphasis to industries, development industries. Maybe for 60, up to 60, during that period, a lot of companies have come, and around 1960 to 80, in this 2 decade era, these academicians, politicians, businessmen set up the national workshop on CSR. CSR become something like, and they used to have some literature on CSR and all, and they used to account or document for that whatever they done. Where great stress was laid on social accountability and transparency. Companies are made accountable to the society. See, social accountability in the sense they take a lot of benefit from the society, human resources, and a lot of resource from the nature. So they are indebted to that, and that indebtedness, they have to give back. They have to give in return, reciprocate through such welfare activities. And such a stress was placed on the uh, companies as per the policy, industrial policy, or these economic policies. And transparency, whatever they do, transparency is whatever the portion of profit or their money they spend on these social welfare and social activities, they have to show it, transparency. That's what the transparency. Then phase fourth, that is 1980 onwards. Say 1980 to 90, that is a period of transition, because till then there was say licensing and tariff, totally blocks in the sense, all restrictions for industrial activities or regulations. Then LPG has introduced, liberalization, privatization, globalization. To go global and to grow global, all these restrictions has removed. And during this period, the Indian companies integrated CSR into sustainable business strategy. At the fourth phase, almost all corporates in India passed CSR policy. They have established separate policy, and that CSR policy was a part of their business policies. So the CSR as a part of their business strategy was uh, taken, or they realized that it is a must. It is a must, means required uh, practice or activity in order to have a long run survival. That is what the sustainable growth. Sustainable growth in the sense, they have to grow by spending all this. Then only they can create public image and establish goodwill. What started, yeah, that is what started as charity during this period is now understood and accepted as responsibility. Earlier it was charity, now that because they made it as a policy now, so it becomes their responsibility. In the current scenario today, we are in third decade, commencement the third decade of new millennium, 21st millennium. Now new companies act was introduced, enacted in December 2012 with effect from 1st April 13. We call it as Companies Act 2013. Till then, Companies Act 1956 was there. Major, lot of, I can say, major remarkable changes has been made in many provisions. So then mandates, means make it compulsory on part of companies to spend on CSR. Corporate to spend 2% of their average net profit, average of last 3 financial year, towards CSR, when their capital is more than 1,000 crore, and when they earn more than profit of 5 crore. The second aspect in this session is a charity. You see, till the third phase, till 1980, 80 and 90. So 80, that liberalization started. Till then, it was a charity and philanthropy. Whatever share of profit companies use for the welfare activities, but then it becomes a policy matter, and now it is a mandatory. Everyone has to spend. Whatever, whichever the company comes within that bracket, they have to spend. So charity giving, that is a charitable donation. Charitable donation for some, say, specific, any purpose. Charity is the act of extending love and kindness to others. Be kind. That is what sharing, caring and sharing. unconditionally. See, when you feel giving some money, maybe like to a poor student, you give 1,000 rupees to poor student, and it is a charity because you are not laying any condition on that poor student to spend it for a particular case, so it becomes a charity. If you tell give money, and if there is some stipulation or condition on the part of donee whoever receives to spend that, then it becomes a philanthropy, education, health, like, okay, which is a conscious act, intentionally giving, but the decision is made by the heart. You see, heart means it is emotions, out of emotion, sentiments, or say love and affection. That's what caring part, without expecting a reward. The one who gives the charity not expect anything in return. When charity is carried out selflessly, it is one way act where a person gives but asks for nothing in return. So they do it as a my karma, as I born as a man or human being, I have to offer. So main purpose of charity is essential and therefore meant to be done for public benefit, relief, and to provide assistance to people at the time of need in any part of the world. You see, now for pandemic purpose or for flood purpose, whenever you donate either to the Prime Minister Cash Fund or the Prime Minister Relief Fund or even CM Relief Fund, we donate and we are not having putting any condition that it has to be spent for this purpose, but it will have its own way to spend. And say especially who are the victims of war, natural disaster, catastrophe, natural disaster, all this comes, or hunger, or say disease, example COVID-19, poverty, orphans, by supplying them with food, shelter, medical aid, and other fundamental needs. See, whatever the charity amount, that is for the basic, to fulfill the basic requirements, main food, shelter, and health, uh, not for any other purpose. The importance of charity in our society, the greatest gift to our community would be when we contribute to the making lives better, others live better. That's the importance. When we touch lives by the dint of donation or charity, spreading light to the most needy and enlighten our soul in the process. ಸೊ ಆತ್ಮತೃಪ್ತಿ ಅಂತ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇವೆ ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಕೊಡುವಂಥದ್ದು, ಆ ಮೂಲಕ ಬೇರೆಯವರಿಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ, ಅವರನ್ನು ಬದುಕಿಸ್ತದೆ, ಅವರನ್ನು ಉಳಿಸ್ತದೆ ಅಂತ. ಅದಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ಚಾರಿಟಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಒಂದು ಅಗತ್ಯ. Then the corporate philanthropy, whatever philanthropies these corporates practice. So it involves the act of donating to a charity or a foundation whose mission is to fight a cause and deliver social impact. They themselves donate, or they can say now Tata's can donate, or Tata's having a trust. The Tata Industries and companies donate to Tata Trust, and Tata Trust spends. So philanthropic term comes from ancient Greece word and literally means love for the mankind. Over time, the concept has changed and broadened until including corporate social initiatives, growing from a donation-based notion to a richer and deeper framework. So while philanthropy can employ different techniques, ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ರೀತಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಡುವುದು. One way most companies donate to a charity is through matching gift programs, means they donate some amount. Now MRPL gives 2 lakh and government give 2 lakh and a building will be constructed for the school. Like the latter consists of acknowledging how much the employees are donating, or say Tata's they collect from employees, or any institute collect from the employees staff and it donates, and then matching amount will be put by the employer, or sometimes double or tripling of it. So this is all about philanthropy and charity, and its difference is there in the book. I'll give or when you buy a book you will get it, which is authored by me. This is all about this session. Thank you.